Hello, welcome back to the ministry. So, the Lord gave me this because I be watching TV. If you haven't noticed, He has me talking about TV stuff. Well, this afternoon I just so happened to be sitting there watching television and I saw this intro. It was an intro to a TV show. I think it was one of them CSI shows. I don't remember what it was. But it was these people and they were on this red carpet, right? Okay, God, I'm gonna say what I hear. So they were on the red carpet, and in seeing these people on this red carpet, it was like this one socialite and then this other socialite, and they all standing there looking like, you know how they look when they on the red carpet with each other and all this kind of stuff. And then they see this other girl, this one particular woman, she's standing with this guy, right? And she looking at this other woman coming down the red carpet. Now the other woman, she looks blessed and unbothered by anything. And this person who's standing next to the man, she got her mouth hanging open with this most appalled look on her face, like, how dare you be reproaching? And it's one of those situations that I can't even figure out why she looking at her like that. It's like she looking at her like, you stole my man. She looking at her like, I can't believe you even approached or showed up. She just had this look, and it was like, you know, when you see the people with their mouth hanging open with that ugly expression on their face, like, oh my God, why are you here? Anyway, she had this expression on her face, and she turns to the guy that she's standing with, and she just grabs him, and the guy looks oblivious to what the world is going on. He's like, she grabs him and kisses him, and the woman still looks oblivious to care that was walking down the red carpet. And that's all I saw because my dad changed the channel. But I think it was relevant to somebody because he brought it back to me to say this, and he brought something else to me that confirms what I just saw, okay? So this is what we went over, what just happened in the scene, right? So this is what the Lord revealed to me. Number one, you are having the red carpet rolled out before you. Period. God's rolling the red carpet out for you for whatever situation in which you're in. He's rolling the red carpet out. And because he's rolling the red carpet out for you, that means that there have been people that could see that this red carpet was being rolled out for you. There were people already on this red carpet, meaning they were already out there. They were already there. They were already amongst and in the midst of this situation, right? Already. But you see, you hadn't arrived yet. There were people already on that red carpet. This person was already in that situation. This person was already standing with that man. And when she saw the other woman approaching, she got appalled. Hear me with your spiritual ears. The Lord showed this to me this morning. The woman and or women that had been involved with your man, they targeted you. Your goddamn spouse was oblivious to it for a whole long time. They didn't understand exactly what the woman was doing. But the woman was so insecure. She was tracking him. She was tracking his phone. She was tracking the things that he was doing. She was tracking. I gotta make sure that I got tabs on this man wherever he go, whatever he's doing whatever. And the man's oblivious as to the reason why this woman is so on top of him about everything. It's not that she was on top of him because she was just trying to be on top of him. She was on top of him because she saw you coming a mile away. She already noticed it. She already sensed it. She already figured it out. And you was oblivious to her because the way God brought you into this picture, you didn't even know she was there. You was just walking up the bus. You were walking up. You were approaching. You were doing what God called you to do, and you started moving in the direction that God told you to walk in. And this woman done seen you. And she's got the appalled stank face on. And you're like, I didn't even see you either. What? And then she appalled that you didn't see her. Why am I saying this? Because last night I was looking at the television and I was skimming through channels, and the word witchcraft was written bold as day across the screen. I was like, excuse me? What? Now, a lot of you already know this. That woman, or one of these women, or whoever this woman was, she was performing witchcraft. Why? Because she was trying to hold on to that individual. Because even if he had been oblivious to you, she wasn't. When he figured out who you were, and in some cases he wasn't oblivious to you, he knew you was there, he just chose not to acknowledge you for a long period of time. But because the woman recognized it, the one he was biding his time with, she knew that eventually he was going to end up leaving her for you anyway. Because you're approaching. Remember, the woman was approaching on the red carpet. But the problem in the fact of the matter is this. He may have chosen her initially, or chose whatever individuals he had chosen initially. But because they weren't God's choice, eventually he was going to lose interest. Eventually, God was going to pull his attention away from that individual. Eventually, he was going to go in the right direction. Right? And as soon as that woman recognized this, go back and look at my video where I talked about, I think it was called Fear something other. It's the one it was a day I did counterfeit stuff. And, yeah. And the one about the bat signal, yeah. These men, they recognized. They ended up coming into the recognition, but when the woman recognized that he came into recognition and actually started doing the work to go in the direction that you were coming in, she wanted to grab on hold to him and was all kissing all in his face and all that kind of stuff, trying desperately to hold on. Let me tell you something. A man don't ever want nobody that's desperate. He gonna run because she desperate. Just because she desperate. That's it. It's like, oh, she asked me how I know. There was a time in my life many moons ago I was in a relationship, and when I tried to hold on. Well, that's what this individual was trying to do. And for some of you, this individual, he done been gone and she's still trying. Operating in what? Witchcraft. Because she more afraid of you than you are of any of this situation. Ain't that convenient how that music came up right then? I mean, that just goes to show you she was into either some African mysticism or voodoo, whatever it is. I don't know what it was. I just felt I needed to say that. Anyway, the point is, she was competing with you, but you wasn't competing with her. Why would you not compete with her? Because half of us didn't even know that they were there. We didn't recognize, we didn't see it. We were just walking where we were supposed to be walking. And they saw us and they became afraid. You walk into the place with an energy and a way about you that is so authentically yourself. You are so authentically yourself. And because you're authentically yourself, your anointing speaks for itself. But this woman has to try extremely hard to be like you. And she's tried several times. Didn't work. So she had to do all these kind of splitting spells and this kind of spell and try to make herself appear to be more like you, to make him think that she was the one that was you and you wasn't the one, and all this kind of stuff. But you ain't had to do none of that. All you had to do was sit in the presence of the Lord and allow the Lord to do what he needs to do through you in the matter. And for some of you, I've been asking God these questions lately, and I'm gonna share this moment. I used to ask the Lord, well, Lord, why didn't you tell me some of the stuff that was going on in the midst of whatever's going on over there? Because he knew the type of heart that you have, that your heart would feel as if you would need to pull away from that situation because of how things were transpiring. Either you were going to want to pull away from it, or you were going to pray in the wrong posture in relation to it. But now that your God-ordained spouse understands you, he actually feels a kind of way that he didn't recognize it sooner. The other day I had an acid issue, and I took an acid pill, and the pill had 152 on it. I said, let me look that number up in Strong's Concordance. You know that means shame. For some of you, they felt a lot of shame for waiting so long. Yeah. And because of that, they realized it didn't have to be this way. That confusion, what they went through, what you went through, they were really in a Leah Rachel scenario where they had made the choice to do something, and then they ended up with the Leah, which they didn't want, got stuck in the midst of it, and you over here being Rachel, like, I'm gonna wait for you. I did a word on this already, so. But you didn't know all of the stuff that was going on. Rachel didn't know everything that was going on with Leah and the deals and the foolishness and the tomfoolery. She didn't know all that. Rachel was just sitting over there patiently waiting. But see, you don't need to worry about, or didn't need to worry about any of that. But the Lord just brought that revelation. I don't know who that for, because I'm so over the counterfeit stuff. I said what I said. I said it, but when I saw it, the Lord would let me let it go. Then he brought to me somebody saying something that fell right in line with what it was that I saw in that clip. So I had to say something. So I hope this helped somebody. Don't worry about the counterfeit. They don't measure up to you. They never did. It's over. It's done. It's a wrap. I saw a couple weeks back the word deposed. The woman's been deposed. She no longer has a posture or position. Anything she's doing is irrelevant. It really is. It really is. They've done tried sorcery. They done tried hiring somebody. They done tried hiring this. Other day had a daggone dream. All I have to say about the dream that I had is this. Whatever they thought that they were attempting to do against you, God has released his wrath of just judgment. And to quote, I can't even take this for myself, Ariel Sparks said this. She said that any form of exploitation that these individuals have put against you and your relationship, any level of blackmail they put towards your relationship toward this individual, any level, and if they dare pray death upon you, it's going to backfire on them. And that's not me trying to be mean. It's not me trying to say that I want nobody to die or anything. God, as he did in the story of David and Abigail, Abigail was trying, let me tell you, I pray for these individuals. She was out here trying to pray for these. She was trying to make sacrifices so that they would not die. But you know what? God turned around and struck Nabal dead. Struck him dead. It was not David that did it. There is justification that God is about to bring. There are people that are going to drop because of what their position was. So I suggest anybody operating in the wrong spirit, and if you are sneaky people watching, hi, monitoring spirits, I recognize you. Understand. You might want to repent now because you ain't got much time left. I ain't out here trying to say I pray for y'all, but guess what? God kept showing me Jeremiah 11:14. Would you please stop praying for these individuals? I'm done listening to prayers about these individuals. It is what it is. So I'm gonna let that go and let that be. But I done said what I had to say, and I've done shared what the Lord showed me. Whoever that's relevant for, take it. Otherwise, bye bye.